Talking Gotham. 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 Talking Gotham.
Well, we're almost at the time for one certain individual from South America to descend and say that Gotham is yours. Hello, everyone. My name is Ryan Cam. Welcome to Talking Gotham, episode 52. We are in the midst of the final season of Gotham, and things are getting quite interesting. Are we getting the Joker? Are we getting Bane? Well, yes to both, but we'll explain that as we get close. Oh, and the Riddler is now the guy from Memento, but we'll cross that bridge too. Jacob Collins, how are you?
I'm fantastic. I cannot wait to talk about got ham because you got to have milk to get ham. Got milk. Gotcha.
Oh, so you actually, I thought you were going to actually say Gotham and then it cuts off, say got ham. I was like, did you really say got ham?
Got
I
ham.
especially like honey baked. Matt, Wyatt, how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm looking forward to talking about these 3 episodes. I thought the first 2 were quite decent, but I thought the third one was definitely the better episode.
Yes. But well, we will be getting into that quick bit of house cleaning this coming Friday. Well, it's already happened by the time this drops, but Small Zero happened this past Friday. Thank you all in advance for checking that out. We're talking more trailers. Honestly, we had so many trailers last week. Shout out to Jacob Martin for joining us last week. We had a great time. We had so many trailers that they basically had to bleed over into this week. We're covering Blade Runner 2099. We're covering Carrie, Thomas Crown Affair, and more. So be on the lookout for that. And thank you in advance for watching live. And again, I will keep saying it until the end, but at the end of our season 5 coverage of Gotham, when Gotham is finally to bed, the talking series of podcast videos, whatever you call it, are migrating from my personal channel over to the Small Zero channel where they will stay permanently. We've talked about this. This is the move. And I'm just giving you all a heads up that that is going to be the move going forward. So
But one thing I want to mention that once we do this week's Small Zero, we're not going to be covering the weekend's box office because we literally already covered that for that second weekend box office thing. So it'll be kind of redundant to do that again because we already done it.
Yeah, that's a good point. Thank you, Matt, for chiming in with that. But yeah, like I said, we did it on Sunday, and we had so many trailers that we basically had to like shove them all to next week. And strangely enough, there are some trailers that are really great I speak for myself. I'm looking forward to talking to. So we'll be forgoing the weekend box office and just going on to more trailer talk because I feel like that seems like all the news that's happening. But we'll touch on that. Well, us now, as we're recording this, we'll cover it Friday. But by the time you all watch this, it will have happened. Time travel, you'll love to see it. But with that out of the way, let's get straight into it. Like, comment, subscribe. We would appreciate that very much. Let's get into Gotham Season 5, Episode 5, called Pena Dora. Pat?
Changing. I'll take my chances. You are the reason that I killed those people. You broke me.
The episode aired on January 31st, 2019. Eduardo Durance, a soldier who once worked with Gordon, arrives in Gotham with the military. Nigma goes on the run after Gordon discovers that he blew up Haven, leading to a citywide manhunt. After regaining his memory of the same night the bridges blew, Nigma confronts Cobblepot and learns that Hugo Strange revived him. Strange reveals he implanted a chip in Nigma's brain to mind control him. Gordon arrives and discovers Nigma's innocence. However, Durance reveals that he is the only controlling Nigma and activates the chip, forcing the latter to pursue Gordon. Simultaneously, Selina is declared a hero by the underworld for killing Jeremiah and turns away from Bruce. But Jeremiah awakens elsewhere, having fully recovered from his injuries. Yeah, I remember that Eduardo, the actor who played this character, I remember him from another show from the CW show called Nikita. And I was like, he looked very familiar until I had to look him up and was like, yeah, this is the same actor. I remember him from another CW show. I thought he was pretty good.
He's also on a long walk from Remember.
Is that similar to La Femme, Nikita, or is that different?
No, it's an action series. With God, why am I blanking on her name? Maggie Q. Yeah, Maggie Q, the lead of the show.
This episode has a great opening. It's just this random gangster watching this movie. Like, he's having a movie night, and Gordon Bullock is like, "Where is the RPG? Where did you get it?" And then I guess his fellow gangsters were watching it from the wing. So he's like, "I only get the seat. You all have to stand." Like, okay. Well, so then he's watching, and then it's like all of a sudden Eduardo and Co just bust in and clear house. It's great.
Yeah, they all bust in, sniping and killing the shit out of those people in that warehouse.
I love how he thinks he has the upper hand, but then he gets outnumbered only for Eduardo and his men to show up and rescue him. I thought that was really cool. I like that aspect of it, you know.
Pulling a Tom Hardy from Inception and telling Arthur to dream a little bigger, darling.
By the way,
but
Panadura is where Bane is from in the comics.
Yeah, I read Absolute Batman, so I know this. But Bruce and Selina are in a weird spot. It's like we talk a lot about the romance in this show and how not great it is, but I feel like it's in a permanent will they I would argue it's an even worse will they won't they, because it's like Selina
you killed Jeremiah. It's like
Selina
Clark
was
and
appreciative, and now it's like, nope, Bruce, I don't want anything to do with you. Like in record time again.
Yeah, like remember, Smallville, how Oliver kills Lex, and then he's like, "You're not one of us anymore. You killed Lex." It's kind of like that, where he's like, "You killed Jeremiah, so I can't even look at you now because all I see is a killer." And I'm just thinking,
we'll see.
Selina Catwoman is always getting her hands dirty in the comic book, so she has no problem spilling blood. She's always been the anti-hero in the comics.
Yeah, she's like, I like her. The fact is that
because her and Batman have a love-hate relationship. That's more like a toxic relationship, like they're on again and off again thing.
Yeah, but Eduardo and Gordon have a great dynamic, and naturally it does not last long because Eduardo becomes Bane. Like, there's literally an episode later in the season called I Am Bane. We haven't watched it yet. We'll get to it. But I mean, if you've read enough Batman or seen enough Batman content, you know his name's Eduardo. He's from Panadura. Like, come on. Like, put two and two together. Like, unless he's the random guy that got shoved with all the steroids in Batman and Robin, like, who else can this possibly be?
I honestly had no idea where he was from, so I didn't even put two and two together. I watched the episode. I had no clue where Bane originated from, and I had no idea that was supposed to be Bane the whole time. So I was like, by the time we see him getting revived, and I think that has to be at the end of this episode, I assume that this was. I was like, is that supposed to be Bane? Am I supposed to believe that that's supposed to be the version of Bane?
The woman says the bane of existence, the bane of humanity.
That went over my head. And I remember the woman, the actress, I remember her from another show. She looked familiar. She was from another show, Spartacus, Gods of the Arena. I remember her from that show once.
She plays an important DC character. That's all I will say.
I bet. I bet she is.
Well, another thing of note is that the Riddler is now... I said the guy from Memento, Guy Pearce, but upon thinking about it, he's also kind of the Winter Soldier a little bit. Is like, literally, Eduardo programs him, kill Jim Gordon. Like, okay, and then he goes.
That's what I had an issue with, okay? Like, whenever he says, because he says kill, he wants him to kill Edward, and he pulls a gun out like this. He's like, okay, wouldn't it be easier for Eduardo just to take the gun, shoot Edward in the head, and then go after Jim himself? I mean, that right there... Because the whole reason he's like, you have to kill him to cover up his tracks for Walker. And instead he gives Edward the gun and then does this. And then he's like, go kill Jim Gordon. He goes, okay. I'm just like,
he's programmed like Elle Fanning in Predator Badlands. Exactly that. He's from
like the android, like an android style.
No, you know what? You know what it reminded me of.
In my pants.
That's the clip.
Because the way his eyes are back in the head, it's like, like he's like.
Roll
Yeah.
Tide. Then we but Riddler has enough agency to set up a big old booby trap, and it kind of reminds me of the scene in Monuments Men. Shout out to the 5 people, including me, that remember that little film, where Matt Damon's character steps on a landmine, and John Goodman's like, "How did you do that?" And I'm like, I don't know. That's the reference I pulled for that.
What about there's also and there's another movie too that did that where he steps on a landmine and what was it? Oh, crap. I know Arrow they did that too where he's on a landmine.
Yeah, they did that in season 1.
I will say I do think it was funny how Gordon had to defuse the landmine. How he's just like Gordon's like just trying to get up there and he pulls the book, which he's like if he would not have saved Eduardo, half the rest of the season would have probably happened, and he would have done like. And then he would have believed Eduardo was a hero and not a villain. Like, I mean, honestly, I'm just saying. What'd you guys think about the lynch mob going after the Riddler? Like, literally, a lady with that's
one thing I forgot to bring up. The fucking rednecks, bunch of redneck idiots captured him, put him in an just electrocute him through the fucking car. I was like, what is going on? Shouldn't he be dead already?
Matt, do you remember the final chapter when Chester Bennington got hooked up to that car?
I remember that, yes. And then the girl's face.
I laughed. I'm not gonna lie, I laughed. Because I can imagine him when he gets stuck in the car. It feels like he's trying to sing the song of his Linkin Park music video. I can imagine. Oh no, you're not. Oh yeah, you're gonna become so numb, all right.
Which, by the way, you get Ryan. Find the clip for that scene from Saul the Final Chapter, then play the song "Numb" in there. Just like a quick.
You can't. Well, you have to do it very quickly, so you don't get copyright strikes.
Seconds, okay, like a 2 second, it's a song where he's like, "I am so numb."
Rest in peace, Chester. You are sadly, and sorely missed.
But didn't you guys laugh whenever she was like he was trapped?
This was like way too much. I thought that scene was way too much of a goof. I hated that scene so much.
Yeah.
It was
it's so stupid, but I was laughing. I'm hysterically like how stupid. Such a rednecks were just torturing the Riddler. Like, oh, yeah.
It felt so random. I was like, where the fuck did this come from?
Riddler's just basically a hot potato at this point because he goes from like Eduardo to the rednecks, then to Professor Strange. Guess who's back again, and then like Strange is able to program him. I'm like, pick a lane, like show, like pick who like Riddler's going to be the toady of, please.
Everyone in this episode gets a piece of the Riddler. It's like he's the worst person. He keeps getting captured the whole episode.
He's getting the shaft. He's literally getting the shaft already in this episode.
Like Barbara gets him. The Penguin gets
him. Except for Penguin, he managed.
He almost did get him. He almost did get him, but then he got the upper hand.
Right. A lynch mob gets him. A lynch mob. Like the whole entire episode is looking for him. Let's get him. He's wearing green. Let's get him.
I mean, he stuck out with a sword thumb.
Evil dies tonight. I was him. I said I would take my jacket off. Is the looking for someone in green? Okay, I'll take my glasses and jacket.
I mean, how ironic it was that idea was like prior to Halloween Kills.
Yeah.
Evil dies tonight. Question marks die tonight.
Riddler dies tonight.
Questions will be answered forever. But my favorite scene of the episode is when
riddles will be solved tonight.
When Bruce and Bullock have that like heart to heart, that was like my favorite scene of the episode.
I thought that was great.
Bullock is low key one of my favorite characters in this whole show. Seeing where he starts and seeing where he ends up. Like, shout out to, and I can't pull his name right now, who plays him, but he's great. And funny enough, I
think it's like Donald Logue.
Donald Logue,
yeah. Because he's been in other 2 comic book movies. He's been in
Blade
2 Marvel movies. Yeah, Blade and Ghost Rider.
And he was in that shitty Resident Evil movie, Welcome to Raccoon City.
I just remembered the other day that Donald Logue was Nick Cage's manager in Ghost Rider. He's like we were on a gravy train on biscuit wheels till you showed up, talking to Eva Mendes.
Dude, I remembered him. I will always remember him from the sitcom show Grounded for Life, an underrated sitcom show. I love that show.
Yeah. And then
But his whole thing of like one act at a time, one deed at a time, I'm like, this is Harvey Bullock saying this. Like season 1, Harvey Bullock would never say this, but it just shows like just how far he's come. And it's actually quite interesting.
What did you guys think about Selena telling Bruce that she was there the night his parents were murdered? And she says she never cared. She says she does, and she didn't say nothing because she never cared.
She
Because-
definitely
It feels like the reverse. When Bruce fell rock bottom after he murdered Ra's al Ghul, then he went into becoming a drunken asshole. And it feels like when Selena supposedly killed Jeremiah, now she's fallen rock bottom being a drunken asshole. It feels like now that it's an Uno reverse card right now with this between Selena and Bruce.
I do. I mean, it's like they're in a complicated way relationship in a way. I will say though. I will say the one thing I also like, if you're strapped to a chair for Riddler when he was with the rednecks, don't insult the people, call them hicks and stuff because they're literally torturing you. Like
First of all, he got electrocuted like 3 times now. He should be dead. They should have fried him.
You are in no position to negotiate.
Also, Riddler seeks revenge against Penguin, and then being upset that he named the dog after him. Like, first off, did you name your dog after me? He's like,
Did you name your dog after me?
for some reason,
worse.
everybody keeps holding Riddler, and then they torturing him only for him to escape. Like he has a horseshoe up his ass or something.
This must be like an episode of Jackass of him getting tortured.
He's like,
Hi, I'm
he's
the
really-
Riddler, and welcome to Jackass.
I'm gonna become a public enemy #1. I get tortured every come across in
And
Gotham.
the lady, by the way, the redneck. The reason she's trying to torture
And this
him
is the
because of
electric
her
chair with the
dog.
redneck family.
The reason the lady's trying to torture him is because of her dog, because her dog was up there. I'm like, why was her dog up there and not her? Like, her dog, really? Like,
But then at the end of the episode, it's like Eduardo has like Edward dead to rights, and it's like, you know what, Jim, you do it. I'm like, what? Huh? I don't get it.
yeah, because it's like, Walter wanted Walker, was admitting that Walker, he works for Walker, and she wanted Riddler to blow up the building that they had to in a strange tweak his brain to do their bidding because they want Walker because they have plans and they cannot have the city be saved. They want the city to basically just be destroyed. Gotham has to be destroyed.
Be cleansed.
It has to
Right.
be cleansed. Which
Cleansed.
you'll find out, then you'll be like, I think I've seen this in a movie once. When you find
Yeah.
out,
I saw
the
this.
whole-
I saw this in a movie once.
when you
To
find out the
quote-
big.
To quote Celine Dion, it's all coming back. It's all coming back to me now.
If you watched a certain movie in 2012, you'll probably be like, I think I've seen this plot already.
And Matt's getting a migraine just thinking about it.
But I will say this though, I will say, I do like that Echo, opening up a casket to see Jeremiah still alive, and turns out he just stitched some blood packets in his chest, and that way when Selena, because he knew all along because they were plotting this the whole time. Because like I said, Jeremiah is ahead of this game because he knew Selena's going to seek
2
revenge.
steps ahead at least.
He's 2 steps, and he planned. Like he's been planning this stuff for months around, and that's what he had Echo do his bidding and everything. And
So essentially, like he's like the head of the entire operation.
Yeah.
well, he's not like ahead of like the whole. Yeah, I'm saying not like of like the Bane and all that stuff. No, but I'm
Yeah,
saying-
that's probably separate in its own thing.
he's on a separate path than compared to because Ra's al Ghul showed him Bruce's journey, and so he's basically like, oh, and so he in his twisted mind, he's like, I want to recreate Bruce's pain to be a part of his because I want to be his soul essentially. Like it's, but we'll get to that when we get to that. But I like that everything he was doing. Like I love when they dug him up and then all of a sudden they just show the Waynes to him and he's like, oh, this is perfect. I'm like, what was your ideas when you found out Jeremiah was still alive? I know Matt was like, I fucking knew it. I fucking told you so. I fucking knew it.
Well, we already. I'm not surprised. I knew he was not going to die.
Yeah.
I'm
Death
not
is
stupid.
death is a taco fart in this universe.
Which I was thinking, like, how would he come back to life? But it turns out he didn't even. It was a vest.
It was he was wearing a vest with a blood packet packet to fake his
The
death.
reason he had Selena stab him was because he would have delayed their operation. So he's like, if they
Yeah,
find
because he's
out
trying to
what they're
throw.
doing,
No, he's literally trying to throw Selena off the trail so that she wouldn't get in the way of what he's planning.
like the quote Hans Gruber in Die Hard. when you steal, he says, when he says, if people think you're dead, they won't come searching for you. But if they believe you're dead, I'm paraphrasing.
It's a quote from Nick Fury from the Winter Soldier. Can't kill him if you're already dead.
Yeah, or yeah, like when Hans Gruber said in Die Hard, he says, no one bats an eye when you steal. He says 10,000, but when you steal 10 million, they will find you, but they won't find you if they think you're dead.
There you go. Collins, what's your score?
I'm gonna give this a 7 out of 10.
Okay, Matt.
Yeah, same here. It's a 7 out of 10. Solid episode. Not perfect, but it's decent enough.
For the first time in a while, we are simpatico. I'm going 7 as well. This is a very well done episode.
You were going to split the difference of that score, really? Stick to your score.
No,
not you, not you,
I was
Ron.
thinking, I thought Ryan was going to say, Ryan's going to say, I will split the difference, and we will go 7.
No, I've done that a lot, and my scores are honest. Like I don't do it to be a troll. Like my scores are honest. Like as I turn it over in my head, I'm like, oh yeah, I do remember liking that, and it comes across in my head.
I just throw a number out there. Like I really don't think about the number too often. I just throw a number out there. Like, and then now if I really hate the episode, I'll go like, okay, I'll try to go under 7. But I'm not gonna. I don't have like, oh, I think this is an 8. I'm usually like, well, I guess I'll go 9. I don't give a shit. Like if it's 9, I just throw a number out there. Hope it sticks.
But we are the train from Unstoppable. We are 777. But let's go on to season 5, episode 6, called
the
most Rob Zombie title of all time, 13 Stitches. Matt?
You'll be the bane of anyone who opposes us.
Well, this is another episode that Ben McKenzie directed that played Jim Gordon in the show. So the episode aired on February 14th in 2019. Gordon destroys the chip in Enigma's brain, and Lucius surgically removes it. Durance and his men take control of the Gotham GCPD. Gordon, Bruce, Alfred, Lucius, Enigma, and Barbara work together to broadcast evidence of Durance's criminal activities to the press and retake control of the GCPD. Simultaneously, Gordon and Durance face off after the latter reveals he has Lee in custody and that Haven was destroyed to ensure that the military would maintain that the city was beyond saving. Gordon impales Durance with a pipe and takes Lee to the GCPD, but Durance's superior Walker takes him to the Hugo Strange and activates the second chip in Lee's brain. With Gordon manages to destroy it as well. Meanwhile, Cobblepot and Selena make a deal to escape from Gotham by working together to track down and kill a thief named Magpie. After she steals from the former, soon after, Alfred is kidnapped by Jeremiah, and Barbara reveals she is pregnant with Gordon's child. Which, how the fuck did she get pregnant that quickly? How is that? How long this time has gone by? It had to be several weeks.
The show takes place in several weeks. It doesn't take place like every day.
If it's several weeks, then I can forgive that. Then I can give that a pass.
It does. They don't clarify, but it is several weeks.
But by the time that episode ended, when they were both making out, they actually fucked. So basically, they fucked.
Yeah, and so that was like several weeks ago.
I was
about to say, I was like, okay, now I can give that a pass. That makes sense.
Yeah,
I must say, I do love the intro of this, where it's like Riddler running. It reminded me a lot of the opening of the Bourne Ultimatum, where it picks up in media res as Bourne is like running after the car chase with Carl Urban at the end of Supremacy. It is like the music is like following him, and then Gordon is after Riddler here. And then I love how to kill the chip, they basically did the Mission Impossible 3 thing, where to get the chip out of his nose to deactivate it, you just shock him.
I put scary movie first.
No, but he just put the shock near the thing in his brain. I was like, I don't know if you would survive. I think you would get a severe brain damage if he did that. You probably be.
Matt, have you seen Scream 4? Remember Sidney did that?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, clear.
And then she still survives. Like,
And somehow she still survives it for whatever the reason.
yeah, then she has to shoot her with
I
a
mean,
gun.
you probably get one hit and you probably get a severe brain damage, but you probably would not be getting up with this. But come
Well,
on,
I don't
that's
think so because people get
Sidney
shot therapy all
Prescott,
the
what do
time.
you want?
I mean, yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, that's
People get
probably
shot
true.
therapy in the brain all the time. I mean, they say
Yeah,
sometimes
yeah,
people-
you're right. Yeah, that's true.
That used to, in
Yeah.
fact, be for mental illness. That used to be the thing back in the 60s.
Yeah, for shock therapy, that used to have been a big thing.
Yeah, for people that were like, sometimes it helped you, sometimes it made you a vegetable.
Yeah, it could either be a 50-50. You could either be a vegetable or you could be cured.
My aunt used to know
Oh,
somebody.
it's kind of like the didn't Lex had a shock therapy in season 3 of Smallville? He did have that shock therapy. Yeah, the shock therapy thing.
And his dad went full shock.
It's like, remember that joke that we talked about? Remember the joke that we talked about, that shock therapy chick?
Yeah. So basically, his dad made him, like I said, because he said he was like he liked women his age, but then basically when his dad basically gave him shock treatment, he became Jared Leto.
Oh dear God, that's not the thing you want to be in 2026. But we get Magpie introduced, and I liked this. And then Alfred, good on Alfred. He's like, yeah, these people aren't humanitarian. Like they're some bad hombres.
Here's the thing that really ticked me off of this episode. Magpie just appears out of nowhere to steal all of like Cobblepot's shit.
And she's a low key.
It feels like it's random. It felt like the scene felt like a side plot, and it felt like we didn't need this in this episode. It felt like, why did we have this in this episode?
100%. I think what it is because Scott Snyder, I think, reintroduced Magpie in 2017 or 18, and I think they were trying to, like, Gotham was trying to, like, oh, we can beat them to the punch and try to put Magpie in the show before anybody else does. Because at the time, Magpie was a popular character in the comics at the time currently running. So they decided to, like, okay, let's put Magpie. I think they shoehorned her in because they were trying to.
They shoehorned Magpie. Like, who the fuck is like? Personally, I have never heard of this character before.
She also
so I have no knowledge. I have no knowledge.
Catwoman, but she dresses up.
Oh yeah, she's literally the knockoff Walmart version of Catwoman.
Like, from what I understand, she's basically.
I feel like the Magpie was completely shoehorned into the episode. We didn't need this. This felt like a side plot that was driving for no reason.
Also have some issues with it. It makes Riddler and both Catwoman look like idiots because when Magpie, this is what I had an issue with. Okay, all right. So, when Magpie throws that watch saying it's a bomb, why don't you just shoot her first? And because she never said she said the watch was a bomb. She never said gunfire would set off the bomb.
Yeah. So I don't know why. I don't know why he didn't shoot right then and there. Makes no sense to me.
Also, Catwoman figuring out also Catwoman outsmarting Penguin, figuring it out. She said nothing in this room is. She said the jewel's a bomb. She never said the room itself was a bomb. And I'm just saying, yeah, right. Like I said, it kind of makes Penguin seem like an idiot, and he usually is 2 steps ahead, like of the game. It's like.
And also Magpie breaking in his place again to try to steal all this shit. I was like, dude, like that's not a smart move. Apparently she's not that bright because why would you go back to the same place where you broke in the first place, other than to fall into a booby trap?
I put a shotgun. She said you already shot her with a shotgun because he put a shotgun.
Put a booby trap with a shotgun. Bang, bang.
Like in Saw 1, remember how the guy walks up there and there's a 15 shotguns right there. He steps up.
God.
And he goes
man, what was that in? I don't remember that in the first movie.
Yeah, remember when they tried to capture Jigsaw, Danny Glover and the other guy go after Jigsaw, and then he shoots him, but he's wearing a vest, and Jigsaw falls down. And then the guy goes up to Jigsaw and hits the wire, and he looks up, and there's a shotgun right there, and he goes bam, bam, and then you see blood spatter on his shirt, and then he goes down, and then Jigsaw gets back up and runs away. Like that's.
Wait, I don't remember Danny Glover being in Saw movie.
He was in Saw 1. He's Detective Tapp in Saw 1.
He's only in the one. He's only in the one movie. But
look, it's been a while since I watched the first one. It's been a while.
Saw 1. That's like I was always shocked that Danny Glover was in that movie. It's like he was in that movie, and no one ever talks about him in that movie either. Like I know he dies at the end, but like still, like no one mentions him. in that movie.
Yeah. It's been a long time since I watched the first one.
Every dead character has come back at least once or twice. But Danny Glover's just like, I guess he didn't want to do another one, so they're just like,
yeah, that might be.
He's all the way dead. But Riddler looks absolutely ridiculous here. Like there's a like Eduardo basically takes over the GCPD with his men, locks all the cops up, and then in order to get him out, Riddler comes in full body bomb suit. He waddles his happy ass in there. He's like, "I have a bomb." I'm like, "Okay, you have my attention, episode. Let's see where he goes with this." And then he drops this insane riddle, and I'm just like,
And Bullock
who
gets
would
it.
have this in 2 minutes, and then
He gets it.
Bullock gets it, and he's like,
And
I
like-
had an essay in school, I got in trouble for it. Just trust me on this one. And I'm just like,
He teams up with the bad guys.
Nigma just wears a bomb suit and gets fucking capped by the army of the soldiers.
like it's twice his size, and he just like waddles in there like, I have a bomb. It's
The bomb. Was that
it's the
like, if I remember
silliest
correctly, was
thing.
that supposed to be meant to be a diversion or something?
Yes, it was a distraction.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. That's what I thought.
So Riddler, which Bullock didn't know that Riddler is innocent.
Yeah, I had a feeling that he had no idea because otherwise he wouldn't be open up his mouth about answering his riddles.
He's like, Riddler. He's like, here, you. He's
Riddle-
like,
probably Enigma's like, shut up.
like, why would you get the right? The one time he thought the GCP would never have gotten it right, and Bane's men are just sitting there like,
And that took a curveball. That he never thought that.
he's like, are you serious?
He never
Reminded
thought that
me-
he would have got it right. He never
Reminded
thought he
me
would have
of the
gotten
end of
Harvey.
Guardians of the Galaxy, where Star-Lord is like, "Ooh, child, things are gonna get brighter," and he's like dancing, and Rowan's like, "What are you doing?" and like distracting you, and like that.
You big turd blossom.
It just reminded me of that.
Yeah,
But
except
it
he's
was
not doing a
also-
dance off.
Which, by the way, the guy
No.
that's Bane's, the guy that's Bane's second in command is named Bird. If you've ever played Batman Arkham Origins, there's a
Mhm.
side mission called Bird, where it's like a big bald guy with a bird tattoo on his like face. That is a DC character that usually in the comics is loyal to Bane. He works for Bane usually. So Bird, that is like, I like that they made this guy, even though he looks nothing like a thing he does in the comics. The guy, which I love that Alfred walks in there when they're like, "Who are these? These are the soldiers and everything." And he looks at it and says, "The tattoo." He said, "That is the mercenary group." He goes, "Why would mercenaries?" They said mercenaries. That group is usually take down governments and everything, occupy cities. They're not there to hand out humanitarian purposes. So then Bruce realizes that, puts two and two, like, they're not here to help us. They're here to contain us. And then he basically wants Bruce started asking questions. They were going to just lock him and Alfred up. And then they're like, okay, they escaped. I love that aspect of when Bruce is like, we're actually the prisoners. We're not the guards. And he realizes that puts that. I will say one thing I do like, I love that, he shows up in a green bomb squad outfit, because obviously he's got to make it name brand green. And then they were ready to leave, like, let's move out. And like, nope, anyone that moves. I'm like, why wouldn't you let them leave out? They were going to leave the building. Like, they're not ain't like they're going to go up on the roof. They're just going to leave the building. Like, they were literally like, let's move out. And they're like, nope, anyone that moves. I would have just told me, yeah, move out. I'm going to blow it.
Yeah.
And I will say, they were leaving. They were like, all right, let's move. And they're like, nope, nobody leave. I'm like, why wouldn't you tell them to stay there? Because
Not very smart. Not very smart. He should have let them leave out the door. They were going to leave.
like, they're probably going to stay outside the building, but still, like, they're not going to be inside the building.
At least, yeah.
I will say this though: Gordon going to Barbara and Eduardo has been showing up for a shoot to shoot here after Barbara threw him a shit. Oh yeah, they get into a shootout after Barbara throws a machete at one of Bane's men, and then of course Bruce in a pissing contest with Bird. I thought that was pretty good. I do also like this though: Eduardo capturing Lee and saying he'll kill her if he doesn't show up with Enigma. I thought that was pretty good. Because I forgot all about, by the way, I texted for Matt and Ryan. I was like, I completely forgot Lee was in the show. I was like, oh yeah, she is in the show.
I'm not surprised that she was going to reappear at some point in the final season. It was only a matter of when.
She probably got pregnant, during between.
Yeah, that might be. Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah, and with Barbara getting pregnant, it looks like that they're now trying to follow the comics, where now the daughter is going to be Barbara Gordon. Which I guess that's pretty odd. It's no coincidence that she's now pregnant in this final season. That way it will follow through once they have a child, it'll be a daughter, Barbara Gordon, Oracle, or Batgirl.
I will say Eduardo capturing Lee and says, okay, Penguin going to Catwoman to find who stole his jewels. I thought that was pretty decent. Riddler showing up in the bomb, yeah, and Bruce up there with an antenna while Fox and Alfred and Barbara are downstairs setting up the signal, and Enigma distracts him with a bomb. I just thought that was so hilarious. And then Eduardo saying the government was ready. The thing when Bruce, I love Gordon fighting Eduardo. I thought that was great. When him saying to Gordon, the government was ready to send aid. They had to blow up Havens to show that it wasn't safe still for Gotham because Gotham needs to die. I thought that was well done with Eduardo. He's like, so that's
Gotham dies tonight.
Yeah, Gotham dies tonight.
Gotham dies tonight.
Gotham dies tonight.
What have I done? I have quoted one of the worst Halloween movies.
Hey, no, Halloween Ends is the worst one.
Yeah, I will agree. Kills is very mid. It was a mid movie.
It's a mixed bag with Kills. Because it has some fun moments.
Ends is worse, but Kills was bad.
I will say, I think it was really funny though. Whenever, they're chasing down this dude, and then you see like all the POVs of people going and then the guy who plays the marshal, the black guy in the cowboy hat. You see him go, in the camera. What the hell is this?
What is going on?
Michael Hall was compensated well for that. That's all that I will say.
Yeah. Oh my God. By the way, but going back to this, I'm just laughing because remember when all the extras.
This is what Ryan started this all, and now it became a thing.
Before we go back to Gotham, remember in that scene though at the end when Michael Myers, Judy Greer is like, "Gotcha." And then all of a sudden they all show up, the extras, and you see like this one extra that's like with a baseball, like, yeah, let's go, Michael. Let's go. Yeah. And then I was like, what the hell is this movie? It's like the craziest shit ever. But yeah, I thought that was so fun.
Created a whole angry mob.
Yeah, and then he kills the mob at the end too. That's the craziest part.
Coming soon to the channel, The Myers Project.
There we go. There we go.
There's like what 30 movies, so I mean that should take a while.
That will take a lifetime.
6, 9? No, 10.
There's 13. There has to be 13 movies, right?
1,
Maybe.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
7,
7,
8. Then the Rob Zombie
1,
movies.
Zombie 2. 12.
And then the 3 David Gordon Green movies, so it's 13.
No, I included the Matt's looking it up, it looks like, so we'll know for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, apparently it's 13. Yeah.
Okay, I was wrong.
I knew I was right, and I'm terrible at math. I was like, I counted. I'm like,
hey, you got one thing right with your math skills.
There you go.
Hey, my teacher in 8th grade would be so proud of me.
She would be very proud.
Yeah.
A for effort. A for effort.
Yeah.
But we get Jeremiah kidnapping Alfred, which pays dividends in the next episode, which we'll get to. But I loved how it's like wanted, butler, references, much needed. Like I thought that was so sinister. I liked that.
And I love how he's like, you touch my boy and I'll chew your face off.
I would bite your face off.
Like, also, what did you guys think though? I love though. It was weird. I thought seeing Jeremiah sneak up like this, like I was waiting for Echo. I really thought Echo was going to be the one to kidnap him.
Yeah, but apparently, Echo would probably be the one doing all the dirty work for
he's trying
Jeremiah.
To play. He can't go out there and be seen because he's like, I'm dead. But yeah, instead he just shows up in the green zone too, the safe zone.
Yeah, why would you show up in the green zone? That's not very smart. You should have gotten Echo to do that kidnapping for Alfred.
Because he's been going around town like collecting everything, which I did think it was great though, seeing Jeremiah just sneak up on him. Like, is that Jeremiah right behind him? And he's like, arr, arr, like Jim Carrey and Ace Ventura: Pet Detective.
And then
no, he's like. now I got that in my head. That's so true.
Go to sleep.
He runs after, and the other guy was like.
That would still be funny to see when he jumps on top of the guy and he's like,
I had this. There was this video meme on TikTok that they used that Ace Ventura clip where he chases after the guy and puts him in his sleep, and then it's like a meme of like, "Hey, here comes the smoke from the wildfire from Canada coming to your state." I was like, "Oh fuck you assholes, fucker!"
I was literally thinking of that scene. He gets on the football player and he's like picks up the ring and like, not the one. It makes me laugh every time.
What did you think about this though? Eduardo's backstory that he was captured in Panama Dora and Walker found him and saved him, and she basically gave him a second chance at life, and he became loyal to her.
Well, third chance, because Eduardo dies via Dracula. Dracula has risen from the grave death, and then and then is given the mask, so he becomes Bane proper. So technically, third chance.
I might like
No one cared who I was until I put on the mask.
You would never start the fire. The fire rises.
By the way,
the one thing that kind of bugged me in the scene with Lucius taking the chip out of his brain while he's still alive, that kind of felt like, I don't know if that's very practical to do that while he's still awake.
Well, hasn't there been like movie? Remember I was thinking once watching the Belko experiment. Remember that?
Oh yeah, the James Gunn written one.
Yeah.
I have not seen that one. I still haven't seen
It's
the Belko
really
experiment.
good. Oh, wait, Matt and Ryan, add to the list the Belko experiment. By the way, Ryan saw.
Yeah, and I've heard it was written by James Gunn.
By the way, Ryan saw Ice Cream Man already.
I didn't even know that came out.
He got a
comes
screener
out
for it.
next week.
Oh, so he got a screener?
Yeah, he can't tell you yet, but like off camera he can, but like he saw it.
I bet he lost his appetite because you fucking asshole fucking show me that red band trailer, you dick. You should have seen my reaction if he had recorded.
I said, how gory is Matt gonna feel? He said, "Oh, Matt's gonna puke." He said.
Yeah.
I don't even want to eat any snacks at the theater if I ever watched it in theaters.
Probably wise not to, but let's go to scores.
Wait, I got a couple of things left before we go to scores. I also like Penguin setting up a booby trap for Matt. We talk about that, and Penguin killing Magpie. This which he said he's like she should let her go, and then he just goes bam, and he goes I have to kill her to send other thieves a message. Don't steal from me. And I thought that was really great. And I also like Barbara revealing she's pregnant because, I will say this, though.
Yeah.
There's things I disliked. I didn't like the Gordon tricking Eduardo into a fight because it's like,
that was so stupid. It's like, okay, let's settle this man to man.
Okay, let's go.
You know what that reminded me? You know what it reminded me? Captain Marvel. When Jude Law and Brie Larson were about to he was offering to throw a showdown, and then Captain Marvel's just hit him with the photon blast. Like, yeah, we're not doing a showdown. We're not going to have a fist on fight. That's stupid.
Also, wouldn't Gordon not need Lee? Like, I'm essentially like, wouldn't like Eduardo not need Lee? Just saying he'll kill everyone, including Bullock and the GCPD that are left if he doesn't show up with Enigma. That's right there. All you got to say, I'll kill Bullock. I'll shoot him right in the head. And then Gordon would show up. I mean, I don't understand why you need Lee. I mean, because you slept with her? Like, yeah, you used to sleep with her? Okay, wow. Also, I don't like the close-up shots when Gordon and Eduardo.
Yeah, that close-up shot was cringe.
Like, they're like this.
They're literally trying to play off like they're in the Western. Like, doing a close-up shot of the stare face.
It's campy. It's like a Western.
It looks so cringe.
I remember Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, there was a scene where Doctor Strange and Mordo are like this, like they make this look.
Oh, yeah. When they first meet up and he met his doppelganger from another reality, and they did the close up, and just when you think that they're about to fight, but it turns and it pulls a curveball.
I remember Kevin Feige told Sam that's too campy. You got to cut that. But
to be fair, because Kevin Feige had no creative control at that time when they were making those movies.
But I know he wanted that cut, but Sam Raimi begged him and said, "No, it should be in there because that's his trope of campy."
Yeah.
I will say though. One of the GCP I was suggesting they tie their shoelace together to get the keys off the desk, and then going. Then what, Roy Rogers? Like, what is a Western? Like, what are we doing? Like,
this is so stupid.
Also,
they kept going on like fighting, and then cuts right back and forth while the other team, like Barbara and Bruce and the other team and Lucius doing their thing, and they kept cutting back to them fighting. Are they still fighting each other? Really?
Also, Harvey Bullock going. I laughed at this when it says, "You son of a bitch! The body count in Haven wasn't big enough, so you had to come here with a bomb." to finish the. I thought that was funny. I actually got chuckled when Harvey said that. But yeah, I'll go to scores now though. I'm gonna say I would say 7.5 out of 10.
Okay, Matt.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to be with him on this one, 7.5.
I'm higher than both of you. I'm going 8 because I really liked what they were setting up. I liked the action of the intro. I liked a good chunk of pretty much everything going into this next episode, which is the best of the 3. It's season 5, episode 7, called Ace Chemicals. Matt?
It's all for you, Bruce.
The title of the episode aired on February 21st, 2019. On the anniversary of the Wayne murders, Jeremiah uses 2 surgical doppelgangers of Thomas and Martha Wayne to force Bruce to relive his parents' deaths. Hoping to become connected to him, Bruce and Alfred escape as Jeremiah blows up Wayne Manor, and Selena abandons Cobblepot to assist Bruce. Gordon and Lee discovered Jeremiah is developing a toxin at Ace Chemicals and are hypnotized by the Mad Hatter, the Return. Dun dun dun. Jeremiah kills the doppelganger couple and attempts to execute Gordon and Lee at Crime Alley. But Bruce and Selena rescue them. Jeremiah activates the toxin, forcing Gordon to drive it into the Gotham River due to the water pollution. The government decides against mainland reunification. After a showdown with Bruce at Ace Chemicals, Jeremiah falls into a chemical vat and is left disfigured and brain dead. Barbara, for the sake of her unborn child, forms a truce with Cobblepot and Enigma, who plan to escape Gotham on a self-built submarine. First of all, the one thing that bugged me in the scene with Barbara is like, no, I'm not going to kill Oswald for the sake of my child. Why? Your child hasn't been born yet. You've been pregnant for several weeks. What the hell is going on here? This is so lazy.
You have very generous 8.5 months. I think the baby will be fine.
I don't think he will have. He's not even conceived yet, dude.
But
she.
This episode cemented though how much I love Jeremiah. Like, we've made fun of like how he like dies, comes back, but Jeremiah is just awesome in this show, and this episode really seals it because he just is just a bastard in this, and I just
everything he does is evil.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's just so gross, but it's just like. It's so gross, and I just kind of admire how, to quote Roger Ebert, I admire what he did, and I hate it because he literally gets these 2 people, dresses them up like Thomas and Martha Wayne. He's like, "Welcome to your house."
They use the proper surgical procedure to look like them. Look like their parents.
One season 3 episode.
I mean, I don't know how he was able to pull that off. I don't know how he was able to have the doctors to pull off the procedure like that.
He said he found people that had similar features, and then he basically got shrinked.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I did like that. I did like how he was able to completely haunt Bruce's past of the murder of his family.
Which they actually did get the same people that played Thomas and Martha.
They did. I could totally tell. And
it's bad enough that Jerome basically captured him and put him through that carnival. Is like, now Jeremiah's going to do something even worse.
Even a lot worse, dude.
He wants to be a part of his origin, so I'm going to kill your parents all over again. Only this time, I'm going to be the one to pull the trigger and make you watch it all. Like,
make you relive that moment all over again. And I like the scene in the theater when he's watching The Mark of Zorro, and when Jeremiah was filming himself of that whole scene in The Mark of Zorro, saying that, like, hey, you couldn't conquer your fear, so you decided to leave the theater, and then got your parents killed. If you hadn't leave the theater, it wouldn't. They would have been alive. But one plot hole, I will say that it was going to happen anyway because one of the Court of Owls assassinated the Wayne family. It was going to happen regardless.
I love Cameron Monaghan as Zorro, though. I thought that was great.
I thought it was so.
I think this was probably his best performance I've seen in this episode ever.
I love when Echo pulls the guy out like on the street, but it gives him a sword. Echo, you see Echo in the background pull the guy out and then run out of the frame. And
he's actually slicing one of his own people. He's actually slicing a lot of these people in that film.
And then Echo pulls the second one out. Like,
that felt creepy. That felt so creepy watching that. Doing that whole movie within the movie thing.
Echo does a lot of messed up stuff. Like in the opening, like she just lets these people go, like, go have fun. And is like the fireworks explode the chemicals, the love that Joker chemical, which I'm gonna call it.
And it didn't matter about the whole fireworks thing because if it gets in the air, it gets in the air. If it gets in the water, it's going to get in the water supply. No, either way, you're not going to be able to stop it.
Also, my thing is this: wouldn't Gordon make more sense for Gordon just to drive into a building? Because if it covers the building, then the building, because essentially.
But wouldn't it go out the window and it would be airborne?
I mean, to be fair, they blew up the chemicals there, and then Gordon then went to the same place, and they were able. It's only like a couple of hour thing, but the thing is, if it covers Gotham in it, that's going to be like it'll last longer. But he just needs, because Jeremiah says the plan is because the government is going to basically make this like a green zone, like they're going to come bring aid to Gotham. I need to cut them off.
Yeah.
So I need, if I poison Gotham for a day, even that's going to stop the government. That's going to set us back 10 weeks.
And it seems to me that Jeremiah is really trying so hard to have the Bruce and them both being connected like brothers. Like they're the more like the yin and yang. Like, hey, without you, what am I? It felt like the Killing Joke style. It literally felt like that in the episode.
I love the line when he says, "I tried to be your brother. I tried to be your friend." And he says, if I can't be either of those, then I can be one thing, your enemy.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, that is like a messed up way. At least because in Smallville, Lex didn't think of him like, oh, since we can't be friends, we can be connected as your enemies. No, Lex is like, we have the same view, just on different sides. I like that this guy, Jeremiah is like,
but he's saying is that we have a destiny, but we're on different sides. That's what he's saying.
But I think with Jeremiah, though, Jeremiah's like, no, I'm going to be a part of your life. I will always be your friend.
Wants to be his lifelong enemy forever.
And he's like, because I'm going to kill your parents, and I'm again, and then I'm going to make you watch, and then I'm going to poison Gotham and kill lots of people because that is what needs to happen. And because and it's like, you're either going to kill me, or you're not. You're going to stop me, or I'm going to get away. One of the three is going to happen.
And I know we already brought this up before, but I feel like that him getting dropped in the Ace chemicals, I know that he's not the real Joker, but I feel like he already did become the real Joker. I feel like he's already have been in that final transformation. Him dropping in the Ace chemicals to make him even more of a Joker than he already is. I feel like it was a little bit redundant.
Well,
if he wasn't affected by his own brother, Jerome, then being dropped in the Ace chemicals would make a lot more sense. But this one just really didn't make any logical sense.
To show you that he's the Joker. See?
Yeah, because I feel like they had to spell. I feel like that the writers had to literally spell it out for us. This is your Joker.
That's like,
because if he wasn't affected by the toxic poison that his brother did to him in the last season, then him dropping in Ace chemicals would have made more sense. But until then, they just wanted to like, hey, don't worry, guys. This is your Joker. This is the real Joker.
I will say I do like Bruce like showing up and Jeremiah's alive, and the Mad Hatter had hypnotized Alfred. And then while Alfred's holding Bruce back, he pulls up a giant gasoline barrel. And
dude, he thought it was cake. He was seeing cake.
He said, "Is it rum? Is it rum cake?" And
is it rum cake?
Sure.
It looks delicious.
He said, "Well, sure, why not?"
And when Bruce and Alfred were running from the explosion on the underground tunnel, it felt like that they were having a little bit of a Batman Begins moment. Like, what are we for, sir? So we could learn to pick ourselves up.
But like the roles are reversed.
Yeah, the roles are full reversed. That literally reminded me. It felt like they took the scene from the Batman Begins.
I do like. Did you? That was funny. I loved that Jeremiah having dinner with Bruce in the fake Wayne's. Like he's just eating a grilled cheese. Like
grilled cheese. Like I too enjoy a grilled cheese myself, so I can appreciate the taste.
Like, he's just like you. He says, "I am Bruce," and like he's just like, and then he just tries to get under his skin by saying, he was trying to pry on his feelings. Did it? He's like, did it hurt the night your parents were murdered and everything? And he's like, enough of this. And then I love that, like, and he's like, okay, time's up anyway. He goes, and then he goes, I'm taking the people, and he says, I'm taking the Waynes. You better leave in about 30 seconds because you better find your butler and leave because.
Well, he was finding his butler a lot longer than 30 seconds. So it took a lot longer than 30 seconds, but yeah.
I know, he's like, Ghastly, we got to go. And then boom. It's
like, okay.
I do think I like Gordon and Lee showing up at Ace Chemicals and the Mad Hatter, finding all these people hypnotized by the Mad Hatter.
And also, I'm going to assume that Jeremiah killed those two doppelganger of his parents.
He said, I shot them before. He said, I killed them. I went ahead and killed them.
No, he said, maybe I did kill them. Maybe I did.
He did, which he did. I mean, like you.
Yeah, he did. Honestly, he did, because then they wouldn't show Lee and Gordon doing a turnaround reveal, and it turns out that was not the
I
couple.
thought that was clever. I thought that was the most clever.
I'll give them credit for that one. That was pretty clever.
The second father, or the third father to you is.
Oh yeah, second or third father figure.
I'm gonna shoot him in front of you. The man who, I mean, that right there, I thought was powerful. I'm like that right there, and it's like. One thing I did like though, I did like when they show up in Mad Hatter's like Jim Gordon and the woman he wanted me to kill, and then Echo, and then after like they're knocking all of the Mad Hatter's men out, and then Harley Quinn goes yoo-hoo! And
I was wondering when Mad Hatter was going to reappear again in the show.
Yeah, it took me a second to realize, like, oh, he's back. Like it took.
Oh, really? So he's part of Jeremiah's operation.
Yeah, like he was the one that been hypnotizing everybody.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Which I love though. I thought it was great that Echo just like they got the upper hand, and Echo shows up with rollerblades and a baseball bat.
Yeah, that's so Harley Quinn style. That is so Harley Quinn.
And then they have him chained up because let me ask the boss what he wants us to do, and then she pulls out a big ass phone. It looks like from the 90s, like a cell phone from the 90s. She pulls out a giant ass
that old 90s cell phone, portable cell phone back in the day.
And then Mad Hatter's just very impatient, just waiting. And then they start taunting the Mad Hatter, and everything. Where I thought that was really funny. And I will say this though, then when Selena putting a knife, I also thought was pretty great. Whenever Alfred runs out of the thing, and they say, "Oh, Jeremiah's still alive" and everything, and then Selena's like, "I got to go find it." And he says, and then Penguin's like, "What about us?" And she puts a knife out there and says, "I should kill you right now." But Alfred talking her out of it, I thought that worked well because. She was gonna.
I literally thought that she was. I literally am surprised that she didn't do it earlier. But I know that she needed him temporarily to escape Gotham, of course. Yeah.
I will say, Penguin thanking Alfred for helping him, talking her down. And Alfred said, "If you want to thank me, you can help me find the Green Zone." Then Penguin says, "Of course, it's that way."
I was like, "What a dick! I just saved your life, and you're gonna be an asshole to me."
He's an asshole. He's a Penguin.
I know, but the thing is, I just saved your life. You should be kissing my ass right now.
Now the Gotham River is full of the chemicals, and it looks like someone just lit up with a broccoli fart or something.
It looks like
a bunch of slime from Nickelodeon.
Or Ghostbusters.
Or Ghostbusters. But it seems like I've said this before and I'll say it again. It feels like no matter what was going to happen, I mean, Jim Gordon was never going to be able to stop that thing from getting exposed, either airborne or in the water supply.
What was it? Drive into an abandoned building with the windows that has no windows.
I mean, yeah, you could have driven in the, but you know what? The writers suspend your disbelief. We don't care. Just go with it.
Mm-hmm. I love when Jeremiah says before he shoots Gordon, "I want to be the star of the show,"
Mm-hmm.
Because which I thought that was great. And then of course, wanting to spray, I thought Echo pulls up with the fireworks. Like he goes, "Echo," and then she pulls up, just see her pull up with the fireworks.
Echo, copy that.
He looks behind and sees Echo pull up with the fireworks, like, and then she's like, she gets out of the truck, which I'm like, "Why are you getting out of the truck?" And then he says, and she goes, "When I say," well, I'm like, "Why is he even telling her on the microphone? Just yell her because she's right there." When I say pull the trigger, pull the trigger.
To quote from the movie Just Friends, "No, Mom, I'm in the living room 10 feet away from you and I'm on the phone."
I think that was great whenever he was literally about to Echo's about to set out the timer and everything. And then Selena just hits him with a whip and everything, knocks the gun out. And then Bruce pulls the pearls off, and then Gordon goes for the car, and then Bruce and Jeremiah just runs the way he runs, maybe laugh. It's like,
run away!
It looked like from the scene of Scary Movie 1 where Cindy just runs off in the lunchroom. Like,
it was not according to. This is not how I planned it out.
I thought of Monty Python and the Holy Grail when they encounter the rabbit and run away.
God, I still gotta watch that movie. Fuck, I don't know why it's taking me so long to watch this.
I do like Jeremiah's line when they're fighting on the rail, and he says, "You're just without me. You're just a joke. without a
without a
punchline.
punchline. That was cold, and then he promptly falls into the chemicals.
Yeah, because he tries to go swing
Especially-
for Bruce, and he falls into the.
And you know what
chemical.
he's saying? Hey, without that, you're boring. It reminded me in the Harley Quinn episode when I think it was Bane or something that took off. No, it was Scarecrow who took off his mask in the Harley Quinn episode and revealed his identity. He's like, "Why would you show me that? This is boring, dude. I feel sorry for this guy. His parents were murdered in front of him. He's boring as shit. He's a billionaire."
Next episode, Jeremiah's going to turn into Jack Nicholson.
I will say this though, Jeremiah falling into that, I like that, becoming officially the Joker. You can no longer say he's not Jeremiah. He is no longer Jeremiah. He's Joker.
Even though he kind of already was Joker, but I guess they had to spell it out.
But they were saying that he's Jeremiah. Now he's no longer Jeremiah.
Even though I thought that was kind of redundant to me, but that whatever. I digress.
And then I do like Penguin going back to Riddler after Selena betrays him. He goes back to ask him to help escape the mainland.
This feels like a toxic relationship with Riddler and Penguin. They're on again and
Barbara
off.
shows up, and then Barbara shows up, and then he figures out, "Are you pregnant?" And he goes,
"Oh,
you know." And then he goes, "You're glowing."
She's glowing. You're glowing.
I feel like the showrunners watched Batman 66, the movie, and said, "Hey, the submarine idea would be really great."
First Batman.
Like, it'd be a good idea, you know?
Making that choice not to kill Oswald for the sake of the child was so stupid. I already said this already, but it was stupid.
When I saw it in the notes, I was like, wait, the idea of some days you just can't get rid of a bomb? I did not think of the submarine for a second.
Because they're in a submarine in that movie. Where
right, the submarine. Why did I not think of that?
I was just like, that's what I was thinking, like, why would they even think of the submarines? I'm like, that sounds so stupid. But the submarine idea still stays into the effect. Okay, wait. Okay, the submarine idea is not going anywhere. That's not a thought. That is actually a plot point in this going forward. And I was like, oh god.
Oh god, I was gonna put this clip. I'm trying to find it.
Also, why would the men stop looking at the fireworks? Why wouldn't you just keep running, especially when they're dealing with echoes?
Yeah.
It's like says run. We just carved you up. It's like that scene where they're like, run away, and they're shooting bullets at you. Why would you stop? They're going to give them a perfect aim. Bruce is the world's greatest detective, yet he doesn't realize he's going into a track, the exact same place where Selena stabbed Jeremiah. Didn't even look around. Hey, wait a minute. We were just
To be fair, he's not fully there as the world's greatest detective. He's still in training wheels.
Also, why would the government mine the river? If the bridges are blown, how the hell are they going to drop supplies if they can't use the water?
Here's this clip here for the question you're asking.
I have a few questions, starting with what the fuck?
There we
That's
go.
cool. Also, Penguin saying that I laughed so hard when the Penguin saying, "Oh, the guy survived the river explosion, survived the river mines. He's swimming to shore." Then you hear him blow up, and it's like
that was funny. That was actually pretty funny.
Also, there are ways not to get hypnotized by Mad Hatter. Okay, just don't look at the watch, don't listen, don't pay attention, start humming tunes or something instead of like every time he's like pull that watch, like, oh no,
close your eyes.
Also, or yeah, hum. There's no also dressed like Zorro. I thought it was stupid, but you know, Ryan.
I thought it was really good. I don't care. I thought that was pretty clever.
It
was creepy as hell. It was creepy as hell watching him.
For
being
some
dressed
reason,
up as Zorro.
I thought because something was black and white, I thought Matt was going to hate it, but it turns out no, it was Collins who actually hated it.
Yeah, I was like, what? I thought that scene was really good.
It's like when he was just like, ha, ha, ha. I'm just like, oh, come on. This is a little too.
Yeah, that's kind of the point. It was like a movie from the 30s. That's what they all did.
Yeah, it was in the black and white 1930s. It was supposed to be campy and how they acted back
then.
Back
in the day, it's fine, but back when I'm watching a show in 2029.
Yeah, but the thing is, he was watching a very old. Yeah, but
they were watching a movie from the 1930s.
But it really
yeah, they were watching the movie called The Mark of Zorro. That happened in the Dark Knight Returns comic book in the graphic novel.
Okay,
he watched The Mark of Zorro in the 1930s.
Also, I'm sorry, but since the chemicals went into the water, nothing can stop Gotham from reaching the mainland. I'm just saying, if the water's full of green, that's all it is. It just means the water's not drinkable. I mean, they could.
Hey, it's St. Patty's Day. They had to just put the green in the water. Okay.
Would have been smarter for
Chicago.
I mean,
instead of having to Chicago too.
Well,
what's that place? The fountain. What's that fountain in DC that's covered as green right now?
Oh yeah, the reflecting pond.
Yeah. Wouldn't it like basically the chemicals now made it look like the reflecting pole in the White House?
Well, with
also,
that in mind.
Wait, before I got two more. All right. Wouldn't it have been smarter for Gordon to drive the truck into the building? And also, I didn't like Gordon and Lee's love bullshit at the end where she's like, I can't. And he goes, come here, Lee. And he kisses her. And I'm like, I don't care.
And then Barbara gets all jealous. Barbara's getting all jealous. Like, what is happening? Another love triangle again? Why are we back? just a quote from Pacino from The Godfather Part 3. Just what they thought it was. Oh, they keep pulling me back in.
Collins, what's your score?
I thought it was a 9 out of 10.
Okay, Matt?
I thought it was an 8.5.
I'm siding with Collins. I'm going 9. This is one of the best episodes of the season, and I loved all the Jeremiah stuff. It was a great watch. What did you think of these 3 episodes? Let us know in the comments. Love to read what you have to say. And small note, because this is such a short season, we will be doing 2 episodes next week, 2 episodes the following week, and then the finale, and then we will be done. It's hard to believe, but the end is near. But Collins,
the end is freaking nigh.
Where can the people find you, Collins?
They can find me in the reflecting pool at the White House lawn that's covering in green. No, I'm joking. They can find me at 3D Movie Cinema, where by the time this airs, I will have had my review for The Long Walk. And then, of course, Small Zero every Wednesday or Friday. And then, of course, Talking Gotham every Tuesday. And so, yeah.
All right, Matt, what about you?
You can find my YouTube channel at Matt White. Let me reverse that again. You can find my YouTube channel at Matt White 92. I put up my full review of the Odyssey, and by the time you watch this, you would already seen my review for Spider-Man Brand New Day, my non-spoiler review. Definitely check that out. I did a bunch of trailer reactions to Lanterns, Resident Evil, and Clayface, and I actually did a full-on reaction to the Star Wars Theory fan film called Vader Episode 2, Echoes of the Jedi.
Who cares? Ouchie!
Calm it down, you two.
Continue.
But Matt, was that it?
Yeah, until you fucked that up.
Well, as far as this channel goes, the 96 Project rolls on. I have a small little series planned for the month of August, and I have another small series planned for the month of September, and then Scary Mania 7. Can't believe I'm saying that aloud, but here we are. But thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned to Small Zero. Stay tuned for all the stuff we've got planned. For Collins, for Matt, my name is Ryan Cam. Stay off the streets, stay off the water. Just get out of Gotham. Like, it's just beyond help. We'll see you all in the next one. You all take care.
Sharpton for president, y'all. I'm outie.
Jesse Jackson for VP.